Hey everybody, this intro video to kind of go along with Marzano's handbook for competency-based education. What we're going to do is we're going to really look at the why of competency-based grading. Why would we make this change? And I want to start off with this table. I think this table really uh, gives a clear picture as to one of the main reasons why competency-based grading can be such an effective tool. We know that grades have long been said that, hey, these are a measurement of learning, but oftentimes grades don't truly reflect learning in the traditional system. And so, what we're trying to do is shift from grades reflecting behavior and compliance to grades truly reflecting learning and the student's proficiency level on those grade level skills. Okay, so grades are going to get away from the quantity and covering every single possible thing to what's the quality? What kind of essential things do they need to come out of each class with? And so it kind of shifts that direction. Again, moving from compliance to long term retention and really that purpose, understanding how these concepts can be used, applying it in situations, so that deeper level of knowledge, and then also moving away from busy work. We don't want the grade to just be, hey, turn things in, check it off. That's why you have to do this stuff. We want true, meaningful assessments where students have a choice in how they demonstrate their learning. And so that is one of the main reasons competency based grading is such a great way to move because we're shifting what the grade is actually reflecting to those concepts and things that we want it to be: learning, quality, long-term retention, and meaningful assessments. And so you'll hear a lot about, what is the difference between the traditional grading system, standards-based grading, competency-based education or grading, and Marzano's high reliability schools. The way that he kind of defines these are these three levels here on the bottom. This culture of a school, the effective teaching in every classroom, and the curriculum being guaranteed and viable. Those three are a part. That's got to be a part of every school for it to be a high reliability school. As they move beyond that, once those bottom three levels are there, standards reference reporting is his fourth level, which would be like standards based grading. You've got a priority standards that you are letting students know where they fall and what their kind of learning or proficiency level may be. And then that last step is competency based education. So, standards based grading is kind of a step in that direction, but competency based education goes one step further. And to break this down a little bit more, you'll see I like this graphic here. Defining some of the differences between traditional grading and standards-based grading. This was on actually the Schoology blog, and so you can kind of see there is some overlap. Okay, things like using numbers or letters are still a thing. Uh, it's used to convey student progress. Now, the actual things that are being conveyed may be slightly different, um, but you can see in the traditional grading system often there's extra credit or zeros or group scores, or it's based on all these different types of assessment, which could include just your generic classwork, homework, and everything that a student does. And all of that's recorded in the grade book. Whereas the standards based system gets away from some of that and it's based on these learning goals and performance standards. Okay, you give each student a proficiency level and only measures achievement. So extra credit is not a thing. We want to know, what does the student truly know? What have they learned? And as we kind of get into that, what's the difference between standards based to competency based? And for that, I want to quickly hit, this is in the notes on the handbook, but one of the key differences is that students can now advance upon demonstrated mastery. Once they've shown mastery of these skills, they could actually move within the course or even beyond the course to higher levels. And these competencies are really transferable learning objectives that empower students. We want students to be able to apply and use these even across